Sup, guys? These are my early quick picks and predictions for UFC Fight Night. Machado Garry versus Carlos Prates. This is kind of a short notice bout that got put together because Khalil Roundtree and Jamal Hill fight had to be rescheduled to another date because I think Jamal Hill hurt himself. Either way, this fight night is going to be a banger. There's a lot of fun fights, and it's going to answer the question of where Ian Garry and Carlos Prates belong in the division. Let's start the card. Okay, starting off the card, we have Chelsea Chandler versus Jocelyn Edwards. Chelsea Chandler is 6-3. Jocelyn Edwards is 14-6, and a bit of a mixed bag of a career for Jocelyn Edwards. Wins, loses. Decent pressure, okay wrestling, decent stand-up. Chelsea Chandler doesn't really have any of that. Like, she's just kind of strong and big, and, like, she missed weight in her last fight in the UFC and lost to Yana Santos and looked awful. And before that, she beat Josiane Nunes just by being bigger and stronger than Josiane Nunes, and she also missed weight in that fight. Does not take her career very seriously. Lost to Norma Dumont, and that's the fight she was running around the cage. That was pretty funny. Beat Julia Stoliarenko. I don't rate that win too highly, to be honest. And Jocelyn Edwards had quite a competitive fight with Eileen Edwards. Eileen Edwards, what the fuck is that? Eileen Perez. It could have gone either way, but I did lean Eileen Perez in that fight. Yeah, lost to Nora Cornell, but that was an absolute robbery. Submitted Tamiris Vidal in her last fight. I don't know how that is, but I am going to go with Jocelyn Edwards to get this one by decision. I just think she's the more talented fighter and better volume. She can track down Chelsea Chandler better with the striking, I believe. Chelsea Chandler gets her hands on her, maybe that might be different, but I don't rate just Chelsea Chandler too high. But I wouldn't bet on this fight, but I will go with Jocelyn Edwards. Now, next fight is Timmy Kwamba versus Roberto Romero. And, I rate David Onama very highly. If you've seen a lot of my videos, I talk very highly about David Onama. And this guy came in on short notice, and he was hanging with David Onama. Some people think, like, it was close. I don't think it was close. I think David Onama, maybe the first round was pretty close. Because, like, he hurt David Onama in the first round, but David Onama, like, did his thing the rest of the fight. Yeah. Some of these short notice fights, we see really good fighters not do too well against. Like, JDM versus Basil Hafez. We thought Basil Hafez was a machine because, like, it was a very close fight against him. Gabriel Santos against Lerone Murphy. We thought, like, fucking, like, he was going to smoke David Onama. I was not on that side. I was on David Onama's side on that one. I didn't see it. But, like, a lot of these fights, they have close fights, and then the odds are a lot different. In this scenario, though, Timmy Kawamba, I do not rate too highly, and I do like the pressure of Roberto Romero and, like, decent power. We saw Timmy Kwamba get hurt a lot in his last two fights in the UFC. Close fight against Blagioki, and Lucas Almeida dropped him a bunch of times. I think he dropped Lucas Almeida as well. But anyway, I'm gonna, like, I usually just bet against these guys because, like, the odds, like, sometimes are a bit crazy. I don't have odds yet on this fight. Like, because I bet against Gabriel Santos when it was David Onama versus him, and I bet against what's his name, Jordan Vucenic against Chris Duncan. I didn't pick him, but I bet it. Yeah, just because he had a close fight against a good opponent doesn't automatically mean you'll win your next fight. But I will slightly lean Roberto Romero in this fight. I liked the pressure that he had against David Onama. He didn't quit when Timmy Kwamba, I wouldn't say is a quitter, but, like, I think the chin is not as good as Roberto Romero. David Onama puts people away, So, yeah, I will slightly lean, but I'm not going to touch this fight with a bet. We'll see what the odds are. Now, Jacqueline Amorim versus Polyana Vienna. Polyana Vienna is like one of the hottest girls in the UFC. That is for sure. And yes, you'll see she's won every single one of her fights by finish, rather TKO or submission, but against very low level competition. Jinyu Frey, Mallory Martin, who the fuck is that? Emily Whitmere, who the fuck is that? Maya Kahuneli. Kahuneli. Okay. Anyway, yes, she won all those fights, and like when it gets to the decision, she usually loses. She lost four times by decision, lost twice by submission, lost once by TKO, which was by Jillian Robertson last time out, and I don't think anybody was picking Vienna to beat her. Jillian Robertson is the pride of Canada right now for us. Yeah, I'm from Quebec. I think Jacqueline Amorim like has really good jujitsu, and I think she's going to submit Polyana Vienna in the first round in this fight. Tough girl, Polyana Vienna. I just think there is a major skill gap in this fight. I'll be surprised if Vienna wins this fight. I'm going with Jacqueline Amorim to win by submission. Now, here's a fight that I'm a bit going back and forth on is Cameron Simon versus Malcolm Wellmaker. I get George Masvidal like vibes, but that's probably because wasn't he on George Masvidal's fighting icon? Yeah, he was. Okay, yeah, that's probably where I got it from. And he had a great debut on the Contender Series against Adam Bramhold. Um, he knocked him out, and yeah, he looked good. Very good power on this guy. He's taking on Cameron Simon, which this might be a good underdog pick because I see Simon is the slight underdog. I just don't know like how he's gonna do. Like he beat Terrence Mitchell, Mana Martinez. Like he kicked Mana Martinez in the ball. He should have been just like disqualified. Like that when I saw it in person, like the whole crowd was going crazy in that fight. Like he was kicking him in the balls, poking him in the eye, and shit like that. Beat Steven Kozlow before that. The guy never fought in the UFC again. But anyway, he's coming off a loss to Peyton Talbot. He got knocked. He got absolutely pieced up that whole fight. Don't know how that looks now because Peyton Talbot was totally exposed in his last fight and got beat up by Christian Rodriguez. No shame in that one. This is a tough one to call. I'll be honest. I don't think Simon's chinny, even though he got knocked out by Peyton Talbot. I think I'm going to slight lean Simon. I'll pick the underdog, but I do not feel great about it. I just think like he probably has the more skills. He's good at, and he has more experience in the UFC. Good fast hands, decent wrestling. He's fights sort of like Dreykus. I know he's from South Africa, but like a smaller version. Yeah, I will slightly lean Simon. I do not feel great about this pick. I'm not going to put any money on this one. Whoever side you feel is decent because like the odds are not too bad on either side. Now a fight I'm pretty confident in is Damon Blackshear versus Alatang Haley. Alatang Haley looked good against Clayton Rodriguez in his last fight, but Clayton, I fucking think he sucks. Like, couldn't do much when he was getting wrestle fucked by Alatang Haley. But I think Damon Blackshear is a much more skillful fighter. I've picked Damon in most of his fights. I've picked his last two fights correct by submission against Cody Gibson. Cody Gibson had a bit of success in the first round, but then Damon snatched up a submission. I didn't doubt him. Like in that first round, I was like, I know Damon's going to get this one done anyway. But yeah, Alatang Haley is well-rounded. He can wrestle, he can strike, do all that. Decent speed, but I just think Damon's a little bit better and the stronger fighter. He's going to get it to the ground at some point, and he's going to snatch up another submission in this fight and or decision with heavy ground game by Damon Blackshear in this fight, I think. And yeah, that's it. I'm pretty confident in this. Well, I might parlay them on, and I might we'll see what the odds look like for decision slash submission and or just submission. I would go for anyway. Yeah. Another fight I am torn on is Chris Gutierrez versus John Castaneda. At a point in time, I was really high on Chris Gutierrez. My opinion has changed slightly. His fight against Song Yadong, I was like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, come on, do something, man. Just standing there and letting him get a hold of you and beat the shit out of you without getting his leg kicks off. Quang Lee beat him last fight. Okay win. That guy came in on short notice and like had a lot of success in that fight, but just John Castaneda outworked him a little bit and won the fight. Not John Castaneda, Chris Gutierrez. And John Castaneda is coming off a loss to Daniel Marcos. Yeah, he was just a step behind in that fight. Then he beat Kwang Ho Kang before that, and Muin Gafarov, which that win looks pretty good. How good Muin Gafarov looked in his last fight. Got knocked out by Daniel Santos. But besides that, he has quite a few good wins, actually. Miles Johns, that's a very underrated win. Miles Johns is really good besides his gas tank. Eddie Wineland, meh. Nathaniel Wood went the distance. Yeah. Where do I go with this fight? I'm gonna pick this on the spot, actually. Look, I don't know how active Chris Gutierrez is gonna be, and I don't need to worry about that with John Castaneda. I think he'll keep coming forward. Um, I think I will go. It's even money this fight. I'll give Chris Gutierrez one last shot. I'll go with him to win this fight by decision. He's gonna just land a couple leg kicks. John Castaneda is gonna have success in the first round, and then like the leg kicks will add up, and yeah, John Castaneda is gonna lose by decision. Don't feel great about it. Here's a fight I feel good about picking. Ahmad Hassanza Dezada versus Evan Elder. Evan Elder is a fucking dog, and he's going to walk through Hamzada. I think I know Hamzada's last loss. Oh no, he lost to someone else on the regional scene in LFA. But I remember he got knocked the fuck out by Nazim Sadikov. Had a okay success, but like mostly got pieced up. And his fight against Dylan Mantello on the Contender Series. Dylan Mantello, I believe, trains with like Marab and all those guys, but he couldn't put it together like they do. He tried to wrestle heavy and just kind of gassed out and got submitted in the third round. He won the second round. But yeah, Ahmed, yeah, he was able to choke him out in the third. And Evan Elder is just a dog, and if I can trust him to keep coming forward and with the volume and the pressure, I think he's going to get this one done, and I think he's going to get it done by knockout. They both have common opponents, Nazim Sadikov, but the only reason Evan Elder lost that fight was a doctor stoppage. I think Evan Elder was on his way to win that fight. I didn't check the scorecards, but it looked like that to me, and he beat General Valdez and Darius Flowers, so not the best level of competition, but I will still go with Evan Elder to get this one done by, yeah, knockout. Now, next fight is Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick. And oh my God, like, you might even be able to do a prop with Jimmy Flick by knockout, like fucking, even though he's never won by knockout, just Matt Schnell's chin, you never know. I am going to lean Matt Schnell, but this is extremely low level, this fight. I just think Matt Schnell is a bit more well-rounded with his strikes, and he's definitely not a quitter, and neither is Flick. Like his last fight against what's his name? Nate Maness. He didn't quit. He kept coming forward. And yeah. Still lost, got pieced the fuck up. I'll go with Matt Schnell to get this one done. It's very slightly by knockout, round 2, I think. Yeah. Now, Ikram Aliskerov versus Andre Muniz. And I don't really understand the odds. I think they're a little bit too crazy. Minus 625 favorite. And Andre Muniz, before he went on his little skid against Brendan Allen and Paul Craig, he was undefeated in the UFC 5-0 against guys like Uriah Hall, Eric Anders, Ronaldo Souza, which are all very good wins. And he just beat Jung Park, tough opponent. Ikram Aliskerov has not fought that level of competition in the UFC besides Robert Whittaker, but he got fucked up. He got knocked out in the first round, chicken dance, all that shit. But he beat Warley Alves and Phil Haas. He did fight Kamzat, lost a long time ago. Dennis Tayulian fought him. Why is he such a big favorite? I know he has really good power, whatnot, and Andre Muniz maybe doesn't have a chin that can keep up with it. I'm still going to go with Ikram to get this one done by knockout, but I think the odds are fucking crazy on this fight. Muniz has fought the much better level of competition besides Robert Whittaker. He got knocked out, yeah. Yeah, I'll go with Ikram Aliskerov to get this one done by knockout. I'll say, I don't know why I want to think third round. I feel like it's going to go a bit longer, but I'll go with first round. It's probably what's going to happen. Now, Randy Brown versus Nicholas Dalby. And, like, I don't feel great ever picking against Nicholas Dalby because Nicholas Dalby is such a dog, and he's in every fight. He won't give up. Randy Brown, tremendous pressure, and he tall, rangy striker, and that's what I like about him. Nicholas Dalby is live in every fight, so I don't if anyone wants to bet him, it's not too bad. At plus 170 is pretty good. Randy Brown is minus 205 favorite at the moment. I'm going to go with Randy Brown to get this one done by decision, but Nicholas Dalby's definitely going to have success in this fight, I believe. It could even be like a split decision. He's definitely going to have success in this fight, and a lot of Randy Brown bettors are going to be worried a couple times in this fight because Randy Brown, like sometimes his chin, he might get hurt a little bit by Dalby, but I will slightly lean Brown, but yeah, don't count out Nicholas Dalby. He's capable of surprises. We've seen that on his legendary underdog run, starting with who was it? Warley Alves, he was the underdog in that fight. I did pick him in that fight. Muslim Salikov, he was the underdog in that fight. And then Gabriel Bonfim, he was a huge underdog and got his first UFC finish in that fight. He knocked him out in the second round when Bonfim was way too gassed from being worked on by Nicholas Dalby. So we'll see in this fight because, yeah, it's we'll find out. But yeah, I'll go with Randy Brown by decision. Here's another fight I don't feel great about. Michel Pereira versus Abus Magomedov. Watching Michel Pereira get absolutely fucking manhandled by Anthony Hernandez the entire fight to then get finished in the fifth. He had absolutely nothing to offer. You could see he was most live in the first round, and he's most live in the first round in this fight as well. Although Abus has showed to not have a good gas tank, it was there in his last fight. His gas tank was better against Bruno Ferreira. He got the submission in round 3. There was moments in this fight he kind of backed up because he was getting hurt by Bruno Ferreira. Bruno Ferreira has good power. And yeah, he beat Warley Alves by decision. It was pretty clear cut. Good underdog in this fight. I will still go with Michel Pereira to get this one done. I'm going to go by knockout or submission, just by finish in the first round. After that, I'm not so sure. Could be a good live betting scenario. Maybe Abus after round 1, you can put something down because I'm pretty sure Michel Pereira will win the first round unless we see a new Abus Magomedov. But yeah, Abus is live in this fight, that's for sure. Now here's a fight I'm very hyped for is Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. I'm very high on David Onama. All my videos, I talk about him a lot. David Onama is one of my favorite unranked fighters in the featherweight division. I love his fights. I love his power. I love that there's no fucking quitting this man. He's a fucking dog. I never pick against guys like this or Nate the Train or Darren Elkins, even though that fucking bit me in the ass last week. Can't believe I picked him in that fight. He didn't look like he belonged anymore. It was very sad to see. I'm a huge Darren Elkins fan. The way that fight went down, it was shocking. I couldn't believe he looked so old and got so pieced up. But regardless, I'm still going to be a fan of Darren Elkins forever. I loved all his fights. Anyway, he's not done yet. Back to this fight. Yeah. So, yes, David Onama in his last fight against Roberto Romero, who is fighting earlier this card. Roberto Romero had some success in the first round on short notice. Like, David Onama didn't know this guy. And before that, Jonathan Pierce. Man, that was a good fight. I picked fucking Onama to win. I made some big money on Onama that fight because he was the underdog. That was a great night for me. And like that was one of the most slept on cards of last year was Fight Night. Nicolau versus Perez was such a banger to come off of UFC 300. Oh my God, I had such a good time that fight with Alex Perez beating Nicolau by knockout, Guskov knocking out Ryan Spann, Karine Silva and Ariane Lipski fight. Jonathan Denise knocked out Austin Lane. David Onama fucking did not stop in the fight against Jonathan Pierce. He kept getting up when he was getting taken down. He would keep shooting for takedowns. His cardio improved. I like to see that. Euros Medic had a crazy knockout that fight against Tim Means, and Victor Henry knocked out Ronnie Yaya. This card was fucking slept on. If you haven't seen it, Chris Padilla's debut, oh my God, that was fucking excellent, man. That was such a good card. If you guys haven't seen that card, because it wasn't very big names on the card, so a lot of people didn't watch it, but it was such a good time. Anyway, I keep getting fucking... Back to this fight, Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. I'm going to be going with David Onama in this fight. And I don't necessarily think he's going to win by knockout. I could see it, though, because David Onama does have really good power. Giga is really good striker, and his kicks are very good. And he did look old in his fight against Arnold Allen. He was hanging in there, but he was just a bit of a step behind. I think this is David Onama's time to shine. I think he will win by decision or knockout, and I can't wait to see it. I'm very excited for this fight. He will keep training and get better for every fight I've seen. The short notice fight against Roberto Romero was a bit of a surprise for him, I think, and yeah, his cardio held up. He did great in that fight. The first round was a bit sketchy, but yeah. Now, Anthony Smith versus Mingyang Zhang. This fight, I swear, Anthony Smith has a chance to win if he can get it down and submit Mingyang Zhang for sure. But I think Mingyang Zhang is going to knock out Anthony Smith, and it's going to be very sad. I'm thinking round 1 again. I don't like the way Anthony Smith has looked in his last few fights, but he's somewhat live in this one because this is the lowest level of competition Anthony Smith has fought in a long time besides Vitor Petrino. But yeah, he finished him in the first round. Look, he's coming off a loss to Dominic Reyes, Roman Dolidze, and Khalil Roundtree. No fucking shame in that. And Johnny Walker, he went the distance with Johnny Walker at least, and Magomed Ankalaev. That fight wasn't so great, but yeah, this will be the lowest level of competition he's faced in a while. Maybe UFC thinks he can win this fight and go off on a win. I would love that. I hope he wins, but I'm gonna go with Mingyang Zhang to get this one done by knockout. Now for the main event, Ian Machado Garry versus Carlos Prates. This I used to be a cigarette smoker, and I obviously I wasn't a fighter and I didn't train fighting a lot. But yeah, you have 5 minutes of cardio and then we don't know what happens after. And that's kind of like his career. I know we saw him get to round two against Jingalang and Trevin Giles. Yes, Trevin Giles was a bit more of a tricky fight. I don't know, but I don't like that. Well, I don't. I'm not gonna say I don't like. You can do what you want, but in this fight, like I don't know how his cardio is gonna keep up for 5 rounds with Ian Machado Garry, which like if like fucking like he gets pieced up, he's not afraid to make it a boring fight, which could totally happen in this. I'm gonna be going with Ian Garry to get this one done. But fighting nerds, fuck man, I'm picking against the fighting nerd. So, like, obviously, I don't feel great about that. These guys have looked great so far in the UFC, and this will be their first loss of the four founders of that team. I might put some money on Carlos Prates just because, like, I bet for fun. It's not to make money too much. I just find it makes the cards more enjoyable. I don't go crazy with the bets. Not a degenerate. It's just for fun. But I think Ian Garry is going to get it done. I think he's not going to get knocked out in the first round. Could be played both ways, like early round knockouts for Carlos Prates, or just Ian Garry after that, money line, whatever, because he could win by decision or knockout later. I think Ian Garry's kind of slept on. Is he the favorite in this fight? Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. He's the very slight favorite in this fight, and I think the odds are exactly where they should be. The only guy to go the distance was Shavkat, and you think Prata is going to knock him out? Yeah, I guess it's possible, but I don't see it. I think I will go with Ian Garry, and holy shit, I'm watching PFL in the background, and Clay Collard just got knocked the fuck out. I don't bet on this. I just like to watch, but yeah, I don't know why he's the favorite, honestly. Yeah, Ian Garry should get this done. Yeah, we'll see. This card is going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun matchups on this card, and yeah, I would say like I'm rooting for Prates, but I'm rooting for both of them. I like both these fighters. I think Ian Garry is a fighter. I don't know about on the mic, but yeah.